Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Michael and Mom Talk Cancer. I am your official host, Michael Kramer, and
I am the other official host. I am Ashlee Kramer, Michael's mom. And we're so excited because today we have two beautiful humans that we relate to so much. We have Lindsey and Thomas. And I don't know, I have like all your bio and all your professional stuff, but I would just love it if you would just introduce yourselves to the audience. And Lindsey, actually, you're the one that reached out to me. You are like caregiver extraordinaire, and you're like CEO. I think that's what you are. And Thomas, you're just beautiful, and hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. It's so wonderful. It's a joy to be able to speak with both of you. You've given us so much hope and comfort listening to your podcast. And I just love, Ashlee, how you started a podcast, both of you did together. And that's what Thomas and I have done. It's such a neat way to kind of form this, Tina Payne Bryson's a researcher who I nerd out over. She calls it a cohesive narrative where you're better understanding your life, and telling your story to other people is a great way to do that. And
for sure.
Purpose out of pain, I think.
What made you guys want to start a podcast?
Well, I think you kind of just said it, but yeah. Wait. We need to go back to like the story. First of all, you guys met in 2014.
We did.
Yeah. So, and you're married.
We're married, yeah.
Been married for 9 years now.
Yeah, it was on our 10-year dating anniversary when Thomas got the news about his cancer, about being diagnosed with multiple phenotype acute leukemia. So that was something we were not expecting to be a part of our journey. But we started a podcast, as you asked, Michael, because we wanted to kind of help keep all of our family informed of what was going on. I'm sure, as you know, when you're going through a medical journey, you have family and friends who are texting and wanting to know how you're doing. So we thought we could make a podcast to let them know how we are, and then also to hopefully have a wider audience for people who are going through cancer or just any kind of life adversity. Hopefully can learn some things that we're learning as well.
And I love the name of it. Brain It On. Okay, everyone, we didn't even say it. The name of your podcast is Brain It On. So whose idea was that? Because Michael and I would have never gone that far. We wouldn't have been like Brain It On, because we're like chemo brain and secondhand chemo brain over here.
Yeah.
But I love Brain It On. Okay, who came up with the name?
I guess I did. We had, a couple of days where we were just kind of throwing around names for fun. Most of them were like silly and ridiculous, but that one kind of ended up sticking. And like, okay, yeah, that kind of encapsulates what we like to do. And because Lynn's actually had a podcast previous to this where she talked about neuroscience and the brain and kind of the walking through hardships and growing through understanding neuroscience, but more to the audience of like teachers and parents. And so she already had that kind of going on. So it was like, all right, well, let's make another one, not necessarily a spin-off, but kind of where we're still talking about that neuroscience and what's going on in your brain as you're going through something that's challenging, and being able to name it to tame it. And I think having an understanding gives you more love and grace towards yourself and others as everybody walks through their journey.
Self-compassion is huge. Loving your brain. You mentioned chemo brain. That's a huge part. And secondhand, I love your use of that. Going through cancer treatment, there's so many ways that it impacts you physically. And something you both talk about is just how amazing it is when you can say, I'm going to take control of my attitude, because that's something I do have control of, that I can choose how I respond.
Yeah, it really is. It's the one thing literally today.
Yeah.
That was your video today.
Exactly.
It's like I teach a workshop on happiness, and like the foundation really is you can't even get anywhere until you take responsibility. And it doesn't mean it's your fault. Doesn't mean things happen because of you, but you can take responsibility in how you deal with it. So let's go back, because I feel like I know like so much about you, because literally I Googled you, so I knew about the other podcast. I knew about all this other stuff about you. But why don't you go back, and I've read your story, but I would love it if you guys share a little bit of the story. And I know similar to us, different, but like our cancer journey didn't start with Michael. It started with my husband, who had cancer first, and we went through that with him, and he passed away. And I know for you, it didn't start with Thomas. So I'll let you guys. Do you want to share the story of your cancer journey a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So it started with my mom, actually. She was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer about April of 2024 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, last year.
And it just came out of nowhere. Literally, Linz and I, all the time, whenever we were like having times in the car where we're like, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? It just, it helps us usually get in a better mood if we can just play the grateful game or something. And
We've never called it that, but I like that. Grateful game.
I love that. We have a grateful text, so grateful game is awesome.
Yeah. And but every day one of us would like say, oh, I'm so glad that we don't have cancer and that no one in our family is ill. And so we were so specific about that. I know, yeah. So when she got cancer out of left field, it was super discouraging. I'm super close with my mom.
Got that vibe. I got that vibe just from the way you've talked about her. I was like, they're close.
Yeah, she's a great woman. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We both have learned a lot from her, and I look up to her. And she's still with us. She just went into hospice recently, but she's doing really, really well considering all things. She made it. She was only supposed to make it to like October or January, but she's doing better than she was a year ago, actually. Granted, she is in hospice because they aren't doing chemo anymore,
Right.
just because it kind of took a turn in that direction to where it's not really a viable option anymore.
Pancreatic cancer is just...
Yeah, it's very tough.
Yes.
We're so sorry to hear this.
I know, pancreatic cancer is
Thanks.
awful.
Are you guys close to her, like physically? Like,
Yeah.
10 minutes
location?
away.
Okay.
Yes. So good that we're nearby.
In proximity and relation.
Yes.
Good.
Are you her only child, Thomas, or do you have siblings?
No, that I'm aware of. I have a brother.
Just one brother.
Just one brother, a younger brother.
He's joking, of course. Yep, one brother.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And
usually from the mom side, you kind of know. There's that whole 9-month thing that happens.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd know if you had another sibling through your mom, but
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The reason why Thomas jokes about this is because when it was time for his bone marrow transplant, they asked if you have any siblings to get tested, and his brother tested, and he was not a match. And so now the joke is one of them's adopted, but we know that there's not a chance that, there's a big chance that your sibling won't be the match they're looking for.
He has 2 siblings, and neither one was a match. Well,
they were
his
50.
brother was a haplo.
One was 50.
Yeah, Stephen was a haplo, and his sister was like, they don't even count it as a match because like 75% not match, like 25%. So,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we feel you on that because it was the same. So did you end up, we're jumping all over, but did you end up going through Be the Match and get an anonymous donor?
We did.
Yeah.
We did. We call his donor Olga. We don't know her real name, but I think we can find out in 2 years. She's from Germany. She's 21. So we call her Olga. So whenever, if we're going to get his weekly labs, we're like, okay, Olga, come on, give us platelets this week, We're always trying to see where his counts are because that will determine how long we're at the hospital. So if his hemoglobin, his red blood cells are 5, we'll be there for a good 5 hours for a couple of units of red blood cells. So it's kind of interesting the more you learn about hematology, but ultimately his mother is a huge person in our lives. We love her. We call ourselves the Cancer Club. We go through treatment together. And after her diagnosis, we were so amazed by her amazing attitude from the very beginning. She was just grateful. She had hope in the face of her diagnosis, and that was hugely inspiring to us. So for 3 months, we walked with her. We did what we could to take her to appointments. And then, 3 months after her diagnosis, Thomas, out of left field, he was diagnosed with leukemia. So then
It's
she
crazy.
walked alongside us. So it's become a challenging thing to go through, and also a lot of beauty that has come from having this solidarity and connection with each other through this shared experience.
Yeah, you guys are walking it hand in hand. I saw that it was like she was diagnosed, and then like you guys jumped in and you were caregivers for her and taking care of her, and then out of left field, this happened. Was there cancer in your family before this? Like, did you have cancer in your family before this, or was this truly like, I've met
Yeah,
people that it's been both, you know?
yeah. On both sides of my family, looking back a generation or two, yeah, there's a lot of cancer.
Yeah,
um, all different kinds. It's quite the variety. Um, it seems that no one's gotten the same type of cancer as each other.
that's
My
so crazy.
grandfather had bone cancer. My grandmother on my father's side had lung cancer, and then my uncle had like a lymphoma of some sort when he was a kid.
Wow.
And then see who else. I know I'm forgetting some, but yeah, it's kind of speckled throughout our history a bit. And that's probably what brought to mind us when we played the Grateful game. That like, wow, glad that's not happening to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And what was your diagnosis again, Thomas?
Yeah, it's called MPAL, so multiple
Right.
phenotype
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, acute
acute
leukemia.
leukemia.
So he has
Yeah,
AML and ALL.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, both.
Because I've
Because
never heard of that
that was the
cancer.
same when I read it. I was like, I had to look it up because I'd never heard of it. But we know AML, we know ALL.
right.
Oh, so you're like, they're pals. Because I saw MPAL and I'm like, who thought of like that acronym?
Yeah.
Pals?
Yeah, teamed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you got the
Wow.
pals, you and your mom
So how
going
do you
through
even
it.
get two cancers in one? Like, how do they explain that to you?
We don't know too much of the background. Just I think it's
Yeah.
very rare.
Yeah.
Basically, the way that you treat something like MPAL is you start with an ALL regimen, and then you cross your fingers and you hope that that first induction chemo works. And then if it doesn't, they explore bone marrow transplant in this case.
Right.
And there were some, risky genetic markers that also led them to choose the bone marrow transplant as the cure. But
Right.
we're so grateful he's in remission. We just had a bone marrow biopsy and it was clear. So
That's
we're very
great.
grateful for that. Yes.
Yeah. Thank God. Yeah.
But I
You're,
understand there's like some GVHD going on, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the next part. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
know GVHD very well, of course. And how's that been going for you? When did you first get like symptoms of GVHD?
Well,
So I was on
you
a
had a tough first. I don't because you actually had your BMT, and so your timeline is so funny. Michael was diagnosed in July of 2020. You were July of 2024. He
Yes.
had his transplant October of 2020. Yours was October of 2024.
Really?
I think you relapsed. You said Christmas Day of
Yes.
2024, and Michael Christmas Day of 2020. Like we have so many similar things. He was admitted to hospital with it was GVHD, but it was acute, and it was at that point he was very it was looking very bad. So it's so crazy how your dates like line up so
Yeah, it's
weirdly.
true.
I really
Yeah.
hope in 5 years you don't have GVHD, but I don't know.
We have a joke that it's the holiday curse. We're like, oh no,
Yeah.
Easter's coming up. What's going to, just as a joke, because all these things have happened on funny holidays, like 4th of July, we found out. So we broke the curse. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. The spinal fluid was clear of cancer. So we're like, okay, we're good now.
our luck turned around.
Yep.
St. Patrick's
Luck of the
Day.
Irish.
We had a joke that Michael was admitted for every single holiday except one. And that was July 4th. And I was so bummed because where his hospital is, like they have these beautiful windows. And the fireworks, when you're there, it's just like this magical place. And I was like, the one holiday that you're not admitted is like the one that we kind of would like to be there. But we've been there for every other holiday you can imagine and every birthday of every one of my kids and me. It's been fun.
Did
Yeah.
you ever decorate your room?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. We had to.
Decorator.
I read what you had written and talked about making the room home, and that was like one of our things is that the BMT room was home. Even admissions, we would make it, I would make, I mean, he was very sick, but I would make it as homey as possible. It changes things. It does
So
change it.
important for your stress levels, for your sense of well-being, for healing, even when the body feels
my
that it's in a safe place and there's some level of normalcy. That does a lot for your psychology, which impacts your immunology, your immune system. So that's something that we've really loved learning more about, is how so much of this is interconnected with the way that
Yeah.
your attitude works and the way that it affects your body. We had a really smart, amazing pharmacist tell us when he had his bone marrow transplant, he was in a really hard space. He got mucositis, and he was right. That is no joke. Mucositis
Everyone gets it.
Through the entire body.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
Yep. Yeah.
It's so hard. And so when
So
he
hard.
had that, they were giving different medications, figuring out a way to help him feel better. And the pharmacist pulled me aside and he said, Lindsey, what you and Thomas have, your love for each other is stronger than any drug I could give you. And this is coming from an oncologist at, a university teaching hospital. So that was a really powerful thing that we heard him say that gave us a lot of comfort. And I don't know, it was one of those lollipop moments. There's that TED talk about lollipop moments, little pivotal moments where what the words someone tells you leave a lasting impact. And I know that's what you two do on your podcast. You give words of encouragement that stick.
I love that. We call them our pockets of peace, or our pockets of happiness. Is like, but yeah, our body is like a pharmacy. And I never want people to ever feel like they're being blamed for their cancer, or if they relapse, or, when someone isn't doing well, you never want to, there's no blame because there's so much going on. But then we also do know that your mental health, it's powerful and it does help so much, especially your immune system.
But is it good to have a good immune system? I always think about that. Like, people always boost your immune system, but with GVHD, the problem is the overactive immune system. So I don't know what the right is to do with that.
Yeah, but you're boosting you boost every single day your positive attitude, and I just can't help but believe that that's just so good for you, because that's been a big, huge part for you guys. And I mean, I can just imagine going first from Thomas, your mom. And wait, Lindsey, where's your family? Is your family also?
They live in Florida. And you live closer in Florida
No
as well,
way.
right?
Yeah, we're in Miami. They're like the opposite end to you.
Right? They fly out often. My brother and sister-in-law live here in Bend, Oregon, which is where we're at. But my parents and grandma live in Vero Beach, Florida. So they have taken turns flying and being with us. And it's been beautiful to have support on both coasts.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, go on with your story. So you were diagnosed. So, and you're in a small...
GVHD. GVHD originally, it didn't come until later for me. I was, I'd been out of the hospital for 150, 160 days-ish. And they had weaned me finally off of an immunosuppressant called tacrolimus.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm sure
Tacro.
Well, Quinn. And so as soon as I was weaned completely off of it, that's right when I got a rash on my entire body.
Olga got angry.
Mm-hmm.
Olga got mad. Olga was like, I like that tacro.
It just started underneath my eye, and it was just kind of like a little red spot. And
okay,
I don't know why, but in my mind, I looked at it in the mirror and saw it for the first time, and I was like, that's GVHD. Just watch.
Wow.
Like I wasn't trying to be negative, but I was like, I feel like this is just the beginning of whatever's going to happen.
Right.
And I was right. So the rash proceeded to cover my whole body and get itchy and be a nuisance. But I feel very fortunate in my GVHD experience, because I know it can attack your liver or your joints or your eyes, or there's so many directions it can go and be just really hard, even worse than the cancer was.
It's a beast.
And Michael, you had a knee replacement, right? Because of
I did. Yeah.
That wasn't exactly GVHD.
Well, because of the steroids that was on. Yeah. Well, the steroids were because of the GVHD, and the steroids caused the necrosis, which caused the knee replacement. So yeah, it was because of GVHD.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
Prednisone. He's been on prednisone for so long for GVHD. Yeah.
Are you still on prednisone?
Are you still on prednisone?
Is
it a low dose though?
5 milligrams.
Oh, low.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Pretty tiny. Well, he was at 180, which felt like a lot at the time. So
that's a lot.
That's a very big dose.
That's a big dose.
I'm sure you weren't sleeping that well.
No, I was
and I'm sure you had.
And I was having atrophy. Just
you're just hungry all the time.
Hungry and cheeks. I don't know if you have the cheeks, but Michael had the really cute. Not that cute.
Not cute at all.
Not that cute cheeks. Like, I'm going to say he's always gorgeous, and he was still gorgeous, but yeah.
I was not gorgeous.
It was pretty, because it's not proportional. It's like it's a different kind of look.
I'm sure you look weird. You look not like yourself.
You look like you're playing Chubby Bunny.
Yeah, like a Chubby Bunny, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
But you're also still getting blood transfusions, so that's also hard. Yeah. But that's like you haven't even reached a year yet.
Yeah, I think I was still getting some.
You were. Yeah. At this time, you were still, but not anymore. Not blood transfusions. It's been a long time. So, like, the first year, still platelets, still transfusions, all of the first couple of years, I'd say. Mm-hmm. But, and okay, and your mommy is in hospice. Is she at home or is she in a center or?
Yeah, she's at her place, in her apartment, and she's pretty self-reliant for the most part. Interestingly enough, like, 3 weeks ago, she broke her femur, and we aren't sure how she did it. She just like had an aching leg one day and went in. They're like, "Yep, you have a broken femur," which just kind of boggled all our minds. How do you
break your femur?
Right.
It's like the strongest bone in the body.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
And so they gave her an emergency, hip replacement or whatever. And,
wow.
And so she's actually been doing better since then. She's been up and about and walking around with her walker and feeding herself and bathing herself and just doing pretty darn well. So,
and I'm sure you're checking on her. She's 10 minutes away, so I'm sure you are.
Oh yeah, of course.
Seeing her daily.
Sweets. So she'll say, "Oh, key lime pie today." So then we get to go around and find whatever it is, or eclairs. I think eclairs was the other night. So, and then we'll watch some kind of, fun movie and just take these little moments for connection. And that's something I think one of our big takeaways is to just enjoy and appreciate every day that you have. Every day that you wake up is a wonderful, amazing gift. And you get to choose how you use each day and the gratitude and the love that you express to people. I heard in an interview from someone on the LLS Bloodline podcast. That's how I learned about you. I listened to your interview with the Bloodline, and I listened to someone else recently, and they were saying that, every day you get to pick the way you view how things are happening in your life. Yes. And it can be really hard on some days, and other days it can be easier, but you just have that autonomy. You have that ability to see things in a way that can be helpful for healing. And I think they said, never leave anything important unsaid. So if there's something important, pick up the phone, call that person, tell them that you love them, tell that person you forgive them, ask for forgiveness, and just really above all else, make sure you're cultivating love in your relationships. So those are some of the things that have been important and impactful to us in hearing other people's journeys.
We are kindred spirits. Love is love is our theme. It's like the theme of our speeches, and like that is, I love all that you're saying. So can I ask, how, do you have support? Because you've been the support to Thomas's mom, and I don't know her name. We keep saying Thomas's mom.
Her name's Julie.
Julie, okay.
Yes.
So you've been a big support to Julie, but and then you've also been a support, Lindsey, for Thomas. And I see that you are in this together, like you are together and supporting. But do you feel, I did actually read something about a nurse that gave you a little extra love, but do you have, How do you find support too?
Right? Some things that come to mind for me are seasons. There's a season for everything. And so sometimes I feel like, there's a time where I really can have that self-care and I can go on my run and I can, call my best friend and do those types of things. And there's other days where he's in the hospital, there's mucositis and it's a really hard day and I'm not going to be able to get my run in. And I think having grace and self-compassion for yourself. So if you're not able to take care of yourself in a way that you'd hope for, that's okay too, because you're just learning how to cope the best you can in that particular season. So in a season where I'm able to have a good, self-care plan that looks like going on a walk or a run, I love therapy. I think therapy is hugely important. So we both have our own therapists that we connect with over Zoom. Taking care of those things are really important. We're connected with our church, so we'll watch service online. We can't go in person, but we will stay connected in that way. Lots of people praying for us. Prayer is a big part of what helps me get through. So those are some things that I like to do. And if all else fails, chocolate. That's a good way to go.
I love that you just said that, because you said all the right things. And I'm like, the key lime pie, though, that's kind of good once in a while. And the chocolate, too.
Yeah.
That's like good, too. You're a runner like me. That was one of my things. Even in the hospital, I would try, like, I would go, like, I'd be like 3 a.m. and like, okay, he's out, he's good. I would like go on a run. I was crazy, but it was awesome. It was myself. But I also tell caregivers that to give themselves grace. And like, sometimes people will say to you, make sure you take care of yourself. And as a caregiver, sometimes you think, oh my gosh, don't tell me to take care of myself. I don't have time or I can't. But it could just be that I tell people, even if you take 1 minute, and 1 minute, like you go and you take a shower and usually, right? I'm like, usually you can get away with in a 24-hour period, 1 minute. And I think that, sometimes we think self-care has to be like, it doesn't mean going to the spa. It can mean anything. And I love what you said about spirituality, because I think that that's another really important piece is, believing that the universe is on your side is a big part to getting through this.
There's a poem, I don't know if you've heard it or read it, Footprints in the Sand.
Of course.
Right?
I have it. It's in my. I have it in my wallet. I have like a card that has it.
Yes. Yeah. My cousin gave me the little Footprints in the Sand, kind of a tiny poster when we were in the hospital. And it had, a beach picture. And I'm like, oh, this looks pretty. And I put it on our hospital room wall. Didn't really read it. And then one day I just took a moment to read it on a really hard day. Thomas got to a point where he couldn't eat or drink in the hospital because of mucositis. So he was on IV nutrition.
Yeah, TPN. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Michael too, for a long time.
Yeah.
Thomas would joke, what's on the menu? Is it barbecue chicken, or make requests for the IV nutrition? They bring the big bag in, like, okay, what do we have tonight?
The big bag didn't smell so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, it smelled so bad.
Yeah.
That bag, that yellow bag, that smelled so bad.
Delicious.
Yes, not delicious, but it was not one of those.
Hey, you didn't really taste it though. I didn't taste it, to be fair.
True. Yeah, luckily, couldn't taste it either. They had told Thomas, they said, tonight, this is where his mucositis was really bad. His face was very swollen, his throat too. And the transplant doc came in and she said, we're going to give you your last dose. I think it was methotrexate, because they gave him chemo after transplant.
And they said he had methotrexate as well.
Okay, methotrexate as well. And they wanted to get, I think, 4 days in, but each day it got harder and harder on his body. And they said, okay, we can give you 50% or 100%, and we're gonna go for 100. And then they said, but that might make his airway really swollen, and he might need to be intubated tonight. And so I was, crying in that moment. And that's when I saw the Footprints in the Sand poem. And it's just so beautiful how in the moments when you think you're alone, you're not. There's loved ones around you, and, in our values and what's important to us, it's like God carries you on the days when you feel like you have nothing left to give. And I think it's beautiful to know that you're not alone, even in the darkness. So that's something that's been hugely impactful for us. And we're so grateful that we're in a season where you can eat food. So it's a good reminder, on a bad day when GVHD is not good, we have prednisone. It's like, well, we didn't have food coming out of a bag today. So there's always something to be grateful
True.
for.
Isn't that so? Yeah, it's
It's the
so,
perspective.
It's the perspective that's
Yeah.
huge.
It's also like the showering at home too. I think that's like that was one of the big ones too. Was like
Yes.
trying to shower in the hospital. It's like the little things you forget that you have at home, like the bed, rolling over to your side, you know, sleeping on your face, like you know those little things.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I remember when Mike was on TPN for a long time because of his GI GVHD, and he wasn't allowed to, you know, eat or drink anything. And I remember the first day that the doctor was like, okay, you can have like a piece of bread or maybe some saltines and we'll just see how you feel. And that piece of bread, when I watched Michael, he was just like, oh my God, a piece of white bread from the hospital. Like it was probably the most disgusting, like Wonder Bread or whatever. And it was just like heaven. And those are the moments that you go, oh my gosh, like the little things that we're reminded to appreciate. Like eating, drinking water was like, yay, I can drink water.
Thickened. I don't know if you ever had to do thickened water in the hospital where they make it, because he was choking on water. And so before they went to IV nutrition, they're like, let's try this, you know, little, was it powder that you put in?
Yeah, it's a powder you mix with any type of liquid, and it just thickens it.
Makes it really thick to help you swallow pills better without there being an issue there. So Thomas has said something that's really powerful, and he calls his body like his earth suit, because so much of our experience, you know, we're like, you can focus on what's going on in your body, or, you know, if your face is really swollen, it's something that, you know, that people are aware of, or there can be self-consciousness that comes at different stages of cancer treatment. And Thomas said, you know, it's like my earth suit's just malfunctioning right now, and we're just gonna take care of it. So I think that was a beautiful way of wording it, of just, you know, understanding that your soul and your spirit, that's beautiful, and his attitude, and that's always there, and your body's going to go through different phases, but it's just your earth suit, you know.
Yeah, I love that. That's so that I've heard that said in different ways, but I've never heard someone say like earth suit, and I'm totally gonna copy that.
Yeah, it's sort of like the metaphor with the body being the vessel for the soul, which is really nice. It's a great.
It's the
wow.
And everything that happens on, you know, everything happens on the inside, but what we see is the outside. It's so like ironic. And I love that. It's just the earth suit that's malfunctioning, but the inner spirit is so beautiful. And that's the thing, like we sometimes feel judged because people only see our outsides, but everything is happening on the inside. I love that. How long after you were diagnosed did you start your podcast?
So he was diagnosed in July. And we had to pack up and get to the hospital really quickly when they said you need to start chemo, induction chemo. I said, okay, well, we'll take a few weeks to figure out who's going to take care of our cat. We have a cat named Kitty. I think
we have a cat named
Kitty.
We have
a cat named Kitty.
That is awesome. I heard that in one of your episodes. I'm like, okay, that was my final sign to email you. Because I was like, they have a cat named Kitty. I think I need to email Ashley right now.
Guess who named Kitty?
Michael's gonna say he did, but not really. It was just because we found her outside, and he's like, "Here, kitty," and I was like, "Her name's Stop." We offered her to all the neighbors, like, "Is she someone's cat?" And she was just no one's. She was just there. So we brought her in, and she stayed as Kitty forever, and she still is. Like she's 12, and she's like still tiny and like a kitty. Like and energetic, you would never. She hasn't aged.
She never got bigger. She's very small. She
never got bigger, and she never aged. She got a good earth body.
Yeah, she has a good.
I don't know how. She's got a good spirit. But anyway, so you packed up because actually you live in I'm assuming a smaller town, and you had to actually go to a different city for your treatment, right? Is that right, Thomas?
So a couple.
No, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we live in Bend, Oregon, which is like if you threw a dart in the middle of a map of Oregon, right in the middle. That's where we live.
Okay.
And then Portland is where OHSU is, which is like the big university, a teaching hospital that's in the area of, and all the gnarliest stuff in the state gets sent there. Actually, a lot of people from just the entire Western United States get sent there for a lot of various things. they're really good hospital. But yeah, we do have to drive 3.5 hours every time we have an appointment or anything like that. So
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you had to pack up a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they said, actually, you need to be here in 2 days at the latest. So pack up your car. And so that's what we did. We had to drive straight to Portland, and they started treatment pretty soon after diagnosis, just because his bone marrow, I think, was 94% cancer.
Wow.
So it was like, we're rolling now. So it started pretty quickly. Our podcast started in October during his transplant. So we had, we were each time, I think he had 3 hospitalizations before transplant. So each time we refined what our rooms look like. We have a video called Hospital Hacks on our YouTube page. So
I love it.
How to set up your hospital room, how to thrive in the hospital. And so each time I'd bring more decorative pillows, or we brought like a little mattress topper for his hospital bed one time. And by our 3rd hospitalization, we brought our podcast equipment, and we thought, let's do something more in the hospital to, share our story and to give us a purpose. Well, as long as we're here for 32 days, might as well, start a project that we can pour our energy into.
I think our little mantra was, if I'm going to go through this, I want to grow through this.
Yeah, that's true.
Thomas has a lot of good one-liners.
I'm telling you, I think we should be taking notes here. I'm going to be going back and listening to this and rewinding and pausing and being like writing down all of these like amazing, amazing nuggets of information.
How are you feeling now? Like, how have you been the last like few months with everything?
The last few months, I've been feeling pretty okay. I mean, unfortunately, I've taken kind of an uptick in nausea.
Right.
If I run off screen anytime today, it's probably because of that.
Yeah. We have lots of blue MSS bags.
We do. We got them stashed all around the house.
So that's been a challenging thing to have to navigate.
Yeah. So a couple times a week, y'all get nauseated, but that's not really a whole lot compared to what a lot of other people go through.
But nausea's not fun. I had bad nausea for a while, and I couldn't eat, and it was miserable. So
You would throw up a lot.
Yeah, I would throw up a lot.
A lot. Like, I just remember the first 2 years.
The first 2 years, but then
after transplant.
After that, my stomach got a lot better, and I haven't been nauseous from like GVHD related stuff in a long time. Like, I'll get nauseous here and there. Like, I'll get nauseous here and there like a normal person, but not like how I used to. Well, it's not just because I was on antibiotics.
That's true. He's been on antibiotics, and
but I just stopped them, so now it's better. But usually, I don't get nauseous anymore. Really.
There's hope.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That's so good to know.
The first 2 years after transplant, the body has been through a lot, so it really takes its time to recover. Everything is super slow. So just keep the hope. It's not going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
I
remember one time. My mom lives about an hour and a half away, and she had come. We were at home. It was on a weekend. Michael wasn't in the hospital. It was maybe a year and a half out of transplant, and Michael had some breakfast, and then he just like starts throwing up in a bucket that was next to him, and my mom was like, "What's happening?" And I was like, "Oh, it's okay. He throws up all the time. It's okay. I'll just clean it up." And she was like, "What?"
Thomas's birthday was on August 6th, and for each meal I would go, "Thank you."
Yeah, happy late birthday.
Yes.
One of his favorite foods, and he threw up every meal that day. So, he ate all of his favorite things. They didn't last very long, but he enjoyed it when he ate it at least.
Hopefully it doesn't ruin it. Like sometimes with Michael, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to give him the food that he loves, because like there was a fear of like, if you eat the food you love and you're really nauseous, are you going to like hate it later on?
Right?
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
Didn't seem to happen. He's thrown up pretty much everything, and you still like some food.
It was pizza. I used to not be able to eat dairy at all, and I would vomit every time I had dairy. Every time. Like, I tried it like twice, and both times I had to go to the ER because I was vomiting like 30-40 times, and it was like really, really bad.
It was really bad.
I had to be admitted because of it. But then now I can tolerate it fine. Like it just, I don't know what changed.
Time.
Just got better. The gut just healed, I guess.
The earth body adjusted.
Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
exactly.
It adjusted. It adjusted.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you? So I guess I was gonna ask, what do you do to cope? But I heard a lot of things, Lindsey, that you do to cope. Like you exercise, you go outside, you have your spiritual practice, you have so many things. You have therapy. I love it. You have all the good tools in your toolbox. You have
It's all about remembering the tools. There's definitely days where it's like, oh, I haven't been using them. So that's one of the things about our podcast is if we have something that we're grappling with, like one of the things that I have to deal with, and Thomas does too, is the concept of foreboding joy. And that's something that Brown
always.
talks about. And it's when you're experiencing a deeply joyful moment. She says that joy is one of the most vulnerable emotions, which seems kind of interesting. Like it kind of doesn't sound intuitive, but when you have this deep joy, you realize how it could all go away.
Yeah.
How vulnerable it is when you love or when you experience deep joy. And so when you're faced with foreboding joy, that feeling that you might lose this thing you love, you lean into gratitude and you ground yourself in the moment. So Thomas's, prognosis at the beginning was not good. And then when he relapsed at the start, again, prognosis was not good. We've learned how to lean into gratitude. And when I start to feel this foreboding joy, like we're on the front porch and we're watching deer eat our neighbor's tree and we're kind of laughing about it. And then tears come because I'm like, oh my gosh, you're my person, like you're everything. And just learning how to just open hands. You can feel two things at once, both. And I can be happy and joyful and I can feel scared, and that's okay. And I can choose gratitude to work through those moments. But I think foreboding joy has been a part of our journey that is so normal as part of the human experience. And when you put words to it, it helps you make sense of what's going on. I think that's such a big part of this journey is having language to reframe things.
Name it to tame it.
Name it to tame it. I know I heard you say that earlier and I thought that was really powerful. I think that is a big piece. I think that's why sometimes I know some people don't like support groups or they don't like the idea of therapy, but I think the good thing is, but maybe it's journaling, whatever it is, but the good thing is when you can get those out, name it to tame it, it really is so powerful. And it's true. We can't help it. We kind of are waiting for the other shoe to drop sometimes. And that's the foreboding joy. But you're right. Being present is just so important. It's so important. Do you want to get to any fun?
Yeah.
We have some fun questions that we just to get to know you guys. You have so much wisdom and you have so much joy, and the two of you just exude love and joy. I just have to say that. Amazing.
You're so beautiful. This is a different question. I want to know if there was a movie or a book that you guys resorted to a lot while going through
that. I mean, Lord of the Rings has always been important to me.
Yeah.
So naturally that actually became the topic of a couple of podcast episodes where we're just like, wow, this is kind of like this from Lord of the Rings or that from
They're
Lord
very
of the
nerdy. Talk about Frodo and Gandalf.
Allowed me to get and nerdy with it, and I'm so blessed to have someone that would go down that nerdy path with me.
He watches Brene Brown videos, and at first it was like, okay, I'll watch Lord of the Rings if you watch this TED Talk, the way I'm wired. But then we started falling in love with each other's loves and our, I'm like, so now I quote, isn't this something that Elrond would say to Galadriel? He's like, oh my gosh, I love you.
That's awesome. But also, I saw you have a thing with The Office. Did I make that up? Come on now.
Yeah.
We love The Office.
Yeah, we like The Office too.
But we watched it a lot during Michael's BMT, and then I saw that you guys had a sense of humor and you dressed up and.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we were Dunder Mifflin warehouse workers for Halloween.
That's funny.
I saw that.
That's
we
funny.
Put these big masks on, or we put masks on, and then the little fake mustaches like they do in the show.
I love it.
Walked around with his IV pole around the floor, and we made people laugh out loud because it's just so, strange to see a patient wearing this warehouse outfit and we both had mustaches, so we got some good chuckles, and some people were
That's
just kind of
fun.
in shock, like, what's happening right now?
Was it Halloween or it was just like for
No, it
fun?
was Halloween.
It was
Yeah.
Halloween.
It was
Yeah.
Halloween.
And
Yeah.
that's the day he lost his hair.
Oh.
And
It's so crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we
What was
just
the date
shared
of your
that.
BMT? What was the date?
October 23rd.
So close, the 27th.
Mine was October 27th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
both in October.
So close. Okay.
That's right.
Should we go back to fun?
Yeah, you ask a fun one.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a superpower either of you wish you had? But both of you have to answer.
Oh, okay.
Hard
You
to-
both have to answer a superpower.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like flying would be pretty cool, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably a very common answer.
That is a really cool answer, though. Only the cool people say flying.
Yeah.
Or time travel, if that could be a power.
We've heard that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time travel kind of freaks me out in
I
a
feel
way.
like it's too dangerous.
Yeah, I
Don't
don't
touch
know.
Yeah,
anything.
just don't touch
Yeah, the
it.
butterfly effect scares me.
That's it.
At
Like,
least
don't touch
movies.
anything.
Movies have made me feel that way. Like all the movies, you touch one thing in the past, and the whole future is
Yeah, do you want to
different.
change? Like, do you want to change? If you changed anything, then you wouldn't be the person you are now. And like the
Right.
future, I don't know if I really want to know the future. Like the whole surprise is so
Mhm.
cool. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know, teach his own. I've heard people say time travel
Yeah.
and flying is good
That's
too. All right, Lindsey, what about you?
I think it'd be so cool to speak a bunch of different languages. Just being able to
Oh.
connect with different people. And I speak some Spanish, but it's pretty rusty. At one point, I was a lot more fluent, but I think it would be so amazing just to have the gift of speaking to anyone, regardless of their native language. There was a gal in the elevator going up to Thomas's bone marrow transplant floor, and she looked really sad. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No hablo en inglés." And I'm like, "Okay, hablo español un poquito, podemos hablar." Yeah, I was trying to speak some of my Spanish.
Yeah.
And she asked if I could pray for her. So it was very broken, and she helped me out a lot with a lot of words. But I think it'd be so cool to be able just to, talk to anyone.
No one has ever said that.
Yeah, that's a
right?
very unique answer.
That's a really cool one.
And it's a pretty realistic one too. You could do it if you wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be
People
hard.
do speak a lot of languages.
Yeah.
I got French, English, and a little bit of Spanish, but it's lovely to speak another language. I agree. I love that you connected with someone. That's who you are. I think you already have that superpower, Lindsey.
Oh,
I think you already
the
have it
power-
just
the
by your
language of love,
energy.
right?
You just have it by your energy, because it's not the words. It's never the words. It's like the words are good too, but a lot of it is the energy behind the words.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
But then there is name it to tame it too. So we're gonna go with both.
Both ends. I love that.
Yes,
That's good.
exactly. Your
Doing
turn.
one nice thing a day for someone, like
Mhm.
that. The reason why I prayed for her is because one of my dear friends, I called her and I was crying because how hard things were, and she said, "Lindsey, I want you to do one nice thing a day for someone. Go
Yeah.
buy a nurse a coffee, or write someone a thank you card, or smile." So my nice thing of the day was to smile at someone who started crying in the elevator. So that's a great tip of when you're having a hard day, do something nice for someone else, and it will make you
Yeah.
feel better. And it's amazing how that works.
It's one of our biggest tips. It was like that was on our BMT wall as well. It was the best way to help yourself is to help others. And that's like one of the themes is like, that's been one of our themes, I think. And it's just like, sometimes it's just a smile. It's a message. If you send like one person a day, a DM or a text, or just one person a day and tell them that you appreciate them and love them, it changes the world, and it's exponential because you made that woman feel better, and then she probably brought that energy to the next person she saw. So I think we don't realize the ripple effect. There's studies about this. There's a Harvard study about that, is that when you do something nice for someone else, that they've studied the effects. And I think the effect, like I don't know how, but they did in the study, the ripple effect lasts for 2 years.
No way.
Yes
That
way.
is so cool.
Is
There's a
that
Harvard
not?
study.
It's a Harvard study. I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Love those things. Yeah.
I love those things too.
We'll say if you have one lasting message, what would it be? One like message for anyone listening, or just like one lasting message.
It could be advice or just, your message is love. But
Yeah.
Does anything come to mind for you? What about that Toby Mac song?
Yeah, I'd say it kind of sums it up pretty well. But you probably remember the lyrics better than I do.
Basically, just do the next right thing.
Yeah.
Toby Mac, we love him as a musical artist, but he says something to the effect of, we've come a long way. We've got a long way to go. Just do the next right thing. Show up, choose love. I'm not going to sing because I have not a good singing voice. He is a musician, so he plays guitar and he has a great singing voice.
Nice.
He used to be like a worship leader, and so he could sing it for you beautifully. But I just think he would go and use the spin bike after transplant at the end of the hallway when he was getting treatment, and we would play that song. No one was in the room, but we'd have it on speaker, and we would just he would spin to that, and we would just say, just do the next right thing. Life can be really hard with cancer, but sometimes the next right thing is taking a shower, and that's great.
Yeah, just show up, just keep showing up for those around you. And the lyrics are, just show up, choose love, and do the next right thing. Yeah.
I love it. Do the next right thing. That's beautiful. I love it.
It's overwhelming to look at, how far you have to go still, or how far you've even come. But just focusing on being present in that moment, and seeing just what the immediate next thing to do is, and keeping it at that. Keep it simple.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Baby steps. Yeah. I love that. Cancer is it really is a great teacher. I know it's a teacher that you don't want to wish on anyone else. And I wish, just like you wish, I'm sure that Thomas didn't have to go through this and that Julie didn't have to go through this, but at the same time, both and we can also appreciate oh my God, the life lessons we've learned, the gifts that we've had. So we have one question we always ask. It's our last question. And it's just, if you knew that today it were going to be your last day, what would you do?
I knew that today was my last day, and
but that's for both of you as well.
Yeah. I think I would definitely tell those that I'm close with, that I love them and appreciate them, and
call everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We both have been blessed with having such supportive families, and that's made a world of difference. And so I think calling and just letting people know, like you said earlier, don't let it be unsaid. What do I want to get off my chest, or share with someone that I maybe procrastinated with, or I just chose not to do at that time? Is just tell them how I feel, in a good way.
Yeah. In a good way. That's the good things, of course. Of course.
Can we have everyone, instead of calling them, can we have a beach party?
Yeah.
Because right now with his counts, he's not allowed to hang out with people very much. So if it's our last day, I think that we can all fly to Florida. Yeah. All hang out together, family, friends. Yeah.
You could do anything. You can teleport people. This is like a magic wish. You can teleport everyone in. You can have everyone with you. You can do anything you want. It could be anything.
Well, I would zip around the world then.
Oh yeah.
I definitely. Yeah. There's so many things I want to see and experience that are, on this planet that I haven't had the opportunity to yet. So I'd love to do that, and equally let people know I'd take all those people with me.
Yes.
There you go.
Share with it.
Magic school. I love Magic School Bus. Oh my God, remember the Magic School Bus?
Miss Fritz or whatever.
Yes,
I used to teach kindergarten, so
Frizzle.
yes, special place in my heart. Magic School Bus.
I
Yeah.
love that. Us too.
People want to learn more about the podcast.
Sure.
Brain
Yes.
is on, and they can find us on YouTube or any podcasting platform. And we're starting to post more YouTube videos, little YouTube shorts with little tidbits of hope that we're going to start doing more. So yeah,
I'll
people
put
can-
links. There'll definitely be links people can click on for sure. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're both just beautiful, inspiring, and your energy exudes from both of you.
Yeah, it does. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
doing this
you.
and for all your words of wisdom. And
Oh my God, so many words, so
Yeah.
many nuggets. I'm like, literally, I'm going to be writing everything down when I edit this podcast.
for real.
Yes.
Amazing to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's an official goodbye from your host, Michael Kramer.
And the other host, Ashlee Kramer. Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you, Lindsey. And we're sending so much love to Julie as well.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for listening.